委員早晨。
Good morning. So now elect the chairman and deputy chairman for the 2013-2014 session of the FA panel. May I refer to Section 77(6) of the ROP, a member who is the chairman or deputy chairman of a government advisory body in respect of matters which a panel considers to be directly related to terms of reference to the panel shall not be the chairman or deputy chairman of the panel. And then subsection 7, a member shall not be chairman or deputy chairman of more than one panel at the same meeting. And in accordance with the procedures in Section 22 of the House Rules and Appendix 4 will now have the election of the chairman and deputy chairman. We must have let's have nominations, and nominations must be seconded, right? Mr. Wong Ting Kwang, I nominate Ms. Starry Lee, and a few members second the nomination, including Mr. Jeffrey Lam. I accept the nomination. As I have been nominated and have accepted the nomination, I would now like to invite Mr. Chen Kim-po to chair the meeting. Any other nominations, please? Any other nominations? No? So Ms. Starry Lee is elected chairman of the FA panel. Yes, thank you for your support, members. Right, let's now elect the deputy chairman. Any nominations, please? Mr. Andrew Leung, I nominate Mr. Chung Hua Fong, and seconders, please, Mrs. Regina Ip. Do you accept the nomination? Yes. Are there other nominations? Are there other nominations? No? Then Mr. Chung is elected deputy chairman of the FA panel.
咁啊，請阿張華峰議員，如果願意就可以出嚟一。
Mr. Zhang, if you want to, you can come up to chair the meeting with me. Right, so let's now deal with the schedule of meetings for the 2013-2014 session. In the last session, the regular meeting of the FA panel was held at 10:45 a.m. on the first Monday of each month. As members are aware, we did have quite a lot of items to discuss in the last session, and so when necessary, we might start the meeting early. So any objection to this arrangement? No, then please refer to the schedule of meetings tabled. Do members agree? And concerning the February regular meeting, the first Monday in February is a public holiday, and so it is proposed that the meeting be rescheduled to the 7th of February 2014, a Friday at 10:45 a.m. And that day will be the 8th day of the Lunar New Year, and there will be a House Committee meeting on that day. So may I suggest that we have the meeting on the 7th of February. And then the first Monday in July 2014 is a public holiday, and so may I suggest that the meeting be rescheduled to 6th of June, a Friday, at 10:45 a.m. Mr. Chen Kam-lam. Chairman, I have no objection to these changes. And then I want to say something about the 3rd of March. Because during that period, many members will have to attend the NPC, PPCC meetings. So I think that meeting should be advanced by 1 month or put back by 1 week, and put back by 2 weeks. All right. All right, said. Shall we try to put it back by 1 week, or let's advance the meeting by 1 week? the clerk will make the necessary arrangements. If that meeting is advanced by 1 week, then we will have a meeting soon after the February meeting. But then the February meeting, that meeting will be held on the 7th. And Mr. Sin is of the view that maybe we shouldn't have a meeting at the end of February. So let's ask the clerk to arrange a suitable time slot for the March meeting. Then items for discussion at the next meeting. Members, I believe, have received a list of outstanding items and the progress report. Now, as usual, in June and in December, we meet the FS. And in February, May, and November, the CE of the HKMA comes to brief us on the work of the HKMA. So we will stick to this practice. Mr. Wong Kwa Heng. Yes, Chairman. In July this year, I wrote to you requesting that the following issue be discussed in the panel. And this is about bank charges on banks with a small balance, and also charges or penalties with regard to inactive accounts. And I hope that the HKMA can review the arrangements and the protection for small depositors. I hope that we can have a chance to discuss this matter. Thank you. All right, thank you. Right. Any comments from members? Now, Mr. Wong, the HKMA attends our meeting on a regular basis, and we hope to have a special meeting on the 15th of November to meet the CE of the HKMA, because he won't be able to come to our regular meeting on the 4th of November. So perhaps I can write to him asking him to respond at the meeting. And I understand that small depositors have complained, and so have the exchange shops. They have said that they have not been able to open accounts with banks. Mr. Abraham Sheikh. Chairman, why is it that we are not asking the stocks exchange or the SFC to attend our meetings regularly? Now, the HKMA and the Financial Secretary meet us on a regular basis. And so, are you talking about the stocks exchange or the SFC? The stocks exchange. Yes, I think we should have regular updates from the stocks exchange. Mr. Andrew Leung. Now, there is the free trade area in Shanghai, and Guangdong has suggested that there should be an FTA comprising Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau. So perhaps we can ask our officials to come to us, to tell us about their response, and also what opportunities and challenges Hong Kong faces. Yes, Mr. Zhang, I agree. There have been a lot of problems in relation to the stocks exchange. We want to know more about the operation of the stocks exchange. Now, the stocks exchange is not a regulatory body, but many people have complained about the very high fees and charges. Now, SFC is the regulator, but then the exchange is a transaction platform. And then Alibaba will not be listed in Hong Kong. The negotiations have failed. So I want them to tell us whether why they've made that decision and whether the decision will be beneficial to Hong Kong, whether or what. Also, is the stock exchange also the regulator?
觀眾嘅。
It's not time for such a debate, Mr. Sin Chung Kai. I think the FSTB already said that it's a multi-tier regulation. The stock exchange is the frontline regulator. I won't argue about this. I support Mr. Sheik's proposal. That is, we need to invite the Hong Kong Stock Exchange to come so that we can have a discussion about a number of controversial issues. Dennis Kwok, yes, I think members are concerned about the Shanghai Free Trade Zone. So please ask somebody to come and tell us about the impact. And then Abraham talked about the stock exchange. I agree that they do play a regulatory role, so it is only right for them to explain their matter to us. And then the Financial Services Development Council, they've already started work for 1 year, so please ask them to come and give us an account. Jeffrey Lam, Madam Chair. Everybody is concerned about the Shanghai FTA. In fact, more of us are concerned about the cooperation among Hong Kong, Guangdong, and Macau, and whether it is feasible to set up a FTA. So I think it would be good if we ask Hong Kong officials to tell us about their thinking, and then we can sort of have it discussed together with the Shanghai FTA. Mr. Chen Kim-po, I agree with what members have said. The Shanghai FTA and Qianhai would be important issues. So tell us about the impact on us, and also tell us about the reaction of Hong Kong and sort of self-defense. So I think we need to know how to deal with them. And other suggestions, I think all of them are very good suggestions, like the free trade area, the FSDC, as well as a report by the Stock Exchange. When we do have our meeting with the Secretary for FS and the Treasury, we will mention them. So we'll try to keep you informed, and if necessary, there will be a special meeting. Now, for the regular meeting in November, it will be held on the 4th of November. The administration has proposed 4 items. First of all, briefing on the Inland Revenue Amendment Bill 2014. Second, the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Finance Ministers Meeting 2014. Thirdly, proposed retention of a supernumerary directorate post in the Mainland Affairs Division of the FS branch of the FSTB. Fourth, creation of 1 permanent directorate post to support initiatives of expanding the network of exchange of information arrangements of Hong Kong. And 1 supernumerary directorate post to cope with the increase in volume and complexity of work at the STEM office of the Inland Revenue Department. All of them would involve establishment impacts, and some of them involve legislative amendments, so they're urgent, and we need to have a longer meeting. If you do oppose, I would suggest that for the 4th of November meeting, we have a meeting between 9 and 12:30. That is advancing the commencement time. As usual, the Hong Kong MA will be reporting to the panel and other members of the LegCo in November. On the 4th of November, we have already got a full agenda, and Mr. Norman Chen, the CE of Hong Kong MA, will be otherwise engaged. He won't be in town. So I suggest that we have it on the 15th of November at 8:30 a.m. to 10:30. So for the one mentioned by Wong Kok Heng, as well as my proposed item, that is money exchanges service, they will also be taken up at that meeting. And then during summertime, we have also received some correspondence from members. For the one from Wong Kwok Heng, it has been dealt with, and that's in relation to bank service charges. And then Mr. Tang Ka Piu, on the 30th of September, wrote to us. A copy has been sent out to members, and he would like the panel to talk about the following. There is improvement measures on the MPF system arising from the consultancy study on trustees' administration costs conducted by the MPFSA in 2012. Mr. Tang and Mr. Kwok on the 3rd of October, or rather Mr. Kwok Wai Keung on the 3rd of October 2013, wrote in to ask for the following to be discussed. That is the arrangement for offsetting severance payment or long service payment under the MPF system. As you are aware, they are on our list of outstanding items. Therefore, when we do talk to the SFST, we will raise the items with him to check what views he have got for this one. Mr. Kwok, for the arrangement for offsetting severance payment or long service payment under the MPF system. Sorry, Mr. Leung. I want to know whether it is within the remit of the Labour and Welfare Bureau. Well, the Manpower Panel has received a similar request, so they're going to hold a meeting. Those who are interested, please attend that particular Manpower Panel meeting. Can you please write to clarify this? For us, the FAP will be interested in the amendments to the MPFO. So for this particular issue, it will be followed up by the Manpower Panel. But then towards the end of the month, when I talk to the SFST, I will clarify the division of labor with the secretary. If there aren't other views, I will say that and in fact, to keep you informed as the chair of the panel, I will be meeting with the Secretary for the Financial Services and the Treasury in relation to the agenda items for the months from December till July next year. If you have any proposals, please do so in writing. Without further ado, meeting adjourned. Thank you.